game in a nutshell, isn't it? Get key, get room. Lather, rinse, repeat. We'll see anyway. Day 244. Key number 8 to go into safety deposit box 53. How could I forget? Tonight, this afternoon, you know, I can't blame Nightbot for having a hard time keeping up. It's not Nightbot's fault. Not number one commenter, Nightbot. Okay. Let's get a gallery. Maybe. Let's see, what do we have? We do have the blue scepter as a sidebar. As a sidebar project. We could also get the king's ability. Double up on blue room stuff, so maybe that's in the mix too. Oh, geez. 40 squared. Is that really what they want? 40 squared divided by 10. Right, so 1,600, 160. Okay. Divided by 16 is 10. Wait. No. Yeah. I'm good so far. 10, 0.55. This is the most complex one we've seen. No hints yet, no. Okay, so let's see here. So we don't use this. Okay, completely ignore that. So minus a third plus a third of 2. So barely more than 0. Ignoring that one. And then times... The heck is a diamond? Wait, reversing... Okay, so times that... Man. Sarah is desperate to give clues. I see. Okay, hold on. Let me think through this one here. So we've got 1/3. So basically 81 divided by 3. It's not one that I do very often. 27. That makes sense. Then we raise it to 30, and then reverse it to 3. We ignore that. We do plus 10, so that's 13. Minus 3 is 10 times 2.5. So that'd be 25. No. Because that's double times 10. What did I say it was? 20. 10 minus 13. So it's 10 times 10 is 100. But then we're going to reverse it. Is it really 1? Damn. Sorry if some of my... I'm not sure when doing the dartboard if the things that I'm thinking match the things that I'm saying. I'm trying to communicate my thought process, but I notice sometimes when I look over and I'm like, oh, is that... Oh, I don't know if I was fully walking through what I was doing sometimes. Like sometimes, because I'm saying something, but sometimes I'm thinking ahead of the last thing. I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's like the follow my work equivalent of just like muttering to myself while I think through it. And I think that could be, because it's like, wait, following what I'm saying, it's like, oh, you just stumbled into the right answer. It's like, well, no, I maybe wasn't being accurate with my speech. Let's get some observatory help, I think. Maybe I should just be quiet the whole time that I solve it, and then... Okay, well, I'll put the lost and found there to get rid of it, but I'm not going to do it. Instead, I'm going to go down here. Pick the chess room. So we've already got the knight. We've got the rook. Pink trunk. Number 9. Wave. Knowledge, time, teach me, memos. We know that that's wrong. Maybe. I think it was just the one, but yeah. It's a red memo. I don't think we have anything that suggests that red should be trusted. Over 1,000. Wow. It's another night that we don't need, but cool. No, I'm not going to do that. That'd be silly. Just trying to get ourselves a gallery. That's all. That's all I want right now. Just a gallery and a code check. Simple needs. Simple goals. At least we've almost got back up to 50 stars for grinding, trying to force a I'll just drop that there. Redraws. At the very least, we'll have that once. Don't know why game decided to take the audio. Don't know what I did game, but sure. Okay, got audio there. It's charming. It's charming stuff. Hold on. That's more what I expect. Full screen Ryan. Nobody asked for that. I do want audio though. That tends to help. Jump scare. I know what you meant. Office if we want to get the king. That's locked. So wait, I talk slower than I talk? You're not even making any sense now. I know what you mean. Don't worry. Gotcha. Understood. Of course, these are going to be locked. I'm going to get a key. He's typing faster than he types. I understand. It's very common. I should have used my keys on those trunks. They normally give back keys. Dang it. I can usually count on one. Okay. So there's coat check just in case we pull it. But I think I need to do observatory to gain a key. Except I won't gain a key because it's not the same. Games of chance. Certainly. I excel at these. They work out, what am I, like 5% for games of chance in this game, I think? Something like that, maybe? Yeah, that's about right. Let it ride, just do it again. Yeah. Only bet once, though. You have a problem with Diet Coke? Trying to start a war with Diet Coke here? And this, after I recommended that Ashley get a Big B coffee today, which she totally did. I'm not sure that she drank it because she's bad at that, but... Okay. Only, huh? Well, it's very true. It's very true. It's just pain. Pain. I guess I can lockpick. Maybe it'll let me lockpick. Gallery right here would be epic. Can't do it. Can't do it. Jog out. Jog out to the break room. I think that would be the way to do it if we end up going that direction. Tired Ryan is weak Ryan. I know. I know. I mean, awake Ryan, just stubborn Ryan. I don't know if I'd go as far as to call it strength as much as I would just call it stubbornness. Pretty much. Mm-hmm. 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 Jesse, it's fair to say you bailed on this game long before this point of the game. Right? Long, long, long before. 46 and then out. It's a wise decision. Okay. Do it again. Gotcha, you got to White Sands. All right, so 1/3 rounded to 0 plus 1/3, no, double it. So 2/3 becomes 1 plus 2/3 becomes 2 plus 2/3 becomes 3 plus 2/3 becomes 4. So 91 times 10. Okay. 91 times 10 is 910 reversed back to 19 times 10 reversed 190 reversed back to 91 plus 19 is 110 and then reversed to 11 times 1 is 11. Reversed is 11. Whew. It's a long trail for one key. You stop doing them. They stop being fun. Never worth it. It's better than the it's more it's easier to puzzle through sometimes than the really hard logic box puzzles, but I know what you mean. It's tempting, but gotta do this. Yeah, the parlor. And way better than the Trove memos. Even though they are actually slightly more enjoyable now that I'm recording the pain. Now that I'm writing down the ridiculousness, I feel like I can scientifically prove, like I can walk somebody through the messages and show them what I mean now, and that's satisfying. I like that. I've made productive use of my spite, and there's a silver lining in that. That's true. The billiard room puzzle is an encouraging, or it's a puzzle that seems to want you to figure it out because it gives you multiple really as many goes at it as you want. You could even brute force it, maybe, but let's do that. Maybe my problem is having too many observatories. Nah. Observatories are how I can re-roll. Or powered laundry. Powered laundry would be an easy way to get a ton of dice, and that would be a lot better, but I'm not gonna hold my breath for that one. If it happens, it happens, I guess. Turnip. Key. Power gem. I should have done blue. Need to burn through blue rooms. That's what I should be selecting, not even hallways. It's hard not to throw a few hallways in the mix, though. And some of these blue rooms are expensive. Ignore Ashley. Don't listen to her. She is not currently a friend of the stream. She does not speak for me. She does not get to it. No. Nah. We'll get there. We've gotten there so far. No, I said I was tired and I was weak. That's what I said, which is true. Well, there's a special sort of is it really? That's my third observatory. It's a special type of like getting demoralized when you think that you're like on the cusp of something and you've got some really cool ideas and none of them work out, which is what we faced last night. So hopefully it turns around here. I did get pretty serious about you're right. For good reason. So like in theory, right here would be an excellent place for the gallery to show up. Or the treasure trove. We can do a treasure trove. It's a black print, not a blue print, but... No reason to be afraid of stats. This isn't college. Let's see. So, light trunk. What do you think you're asking, Ashley? Hey, Construct. She has no idea. Red memo. She doesn't realize the scale of streaming hours. The last. But to be honest, Ashley would have less patience for the billiard puzzle than you would, Jesse, to give you a sense of last door of 8 is in the inner sanctum. Which we know is false. Yeah, that sounds about right. This way. Hey, what's up, Young? Welcome to the stream. In one of your previous videos, you mentioned one of the best ways to introduce D&D to newcomers to have an experienced player play alongside them. Yes, absolutely. What does it mean to be a good player in this context? Hey, Daleks. So if you're specifically trying to play well with others or play well with like a new person, basically it's kind of like it's like showing a friend of yours that's like maybe visiting town, or maybe they're coming to a party and you're introducing them to a bunch of friends and a bunch of stuff they don't normally do. Maybe they don't bowl, or maybe they've never been to putt-putt. The goal is really like you kind of put your fun is important, but you sort of put it to the side and you say, okay, I'm gonna do what I can to help create as many fun opportunities for them. So what do you do at a party or with friends or whatever? You're gonna introduce them to people you know, right? You're gonna try to point out the things that you think are really fun about the game. You might take them around and kind of show them the things that are fun for them to do in town. So maybe it's like, hey, here's something that I use at the table that reminds me of all my actions, right? But also, you want to give people space. You don't want to totally overwhelm them and swarm them with a ton of stuff that they have to. It's really easy for D&D, especially for people to get overwhelmed with like feedback and information. So another thing I would say that is a really good kind of standout feature when you're trying to play this way is to sort of give them space. And that's going to be different for every person, but in some cases that might just mean not jumping in with, the next thing you want to say or the next idea that you have. And maybe a couple of different times you might go like, well, what do you think we should do? Or what would you do in this situation? Or what does your character have to say about this? Just ways to sort of draw them in and make sure that they're, playing a part and getting a taste for what the game can be. Yeah, that's stuff like that is what I would say. And again, it doesn't mean you have to sacrifice playing for yourself. It just means that you also kind of have that in mind as you're making decisions. No problem, Young. And a lot of people here, I think, are great stewards of the game. They probably have, they have great ideas as well. Is blue, so I should probably do that. Jesse, what is this? Utside? What is that? I've never heard of Utside before. Is that a new thing, or maybe is that a new game, or is that like maybe Blueprints DLC that I haven't heard about? Utside. I don't follow. What's up, Hafler? Oh, you're not missing anything. Listen, I don't know that we need to dive too far into time management, family time, things like that here on stream. Jesse, I think in our regular like family sessions we have, our group family sessions with you, we can probably go over that, I think. Oh, should I... If they could just give me... If they could just put it... Okay, the pool's okay. Just track all my time. Yes, this is good. You can start up a sleep spreadsheet. Yeah, you said, how do you balance between being a nice DM that creates a fun experience versus being strict and clear about consequences? Very new to D&D, but was a DM for a one-shot with all my friends. You struggle between being nice and being tough to create tension and stakes and make the threats feel real. So That's a really good question, first of all. And I think that it's always about balance. One thing that I think helps is to see yourself not as the, well, every DM has a different approach. Mine is not necessarily to see my role as, you know, turning the screws to the players, being the pressure cooker, like making sure that it's all. I don't really see myself that way. I sort of see myself as kind of the judge or the arbiter of this world, and I really want it to feel real, right? That doesn't mean that it is real, because if it is real, then, you know, okay, you guys travel north, and for the next 40 days, nothing happens because it takes a really long time to travel to places, and not everything is interesting. That'd be truly real. I'm not interested in that. But I want it to be sort of verisimilitudinous, right? Like, I want there to be that feeling when you're playing that this feels like it's a real fantasy world. This feels like there are characters here, and there's an impact, and there's weight to all of this. And so when making judgment calls and trying to maintain that balance, you know, a lot of times I'll call that out to players, right? When it's like, well, you know, this is sort of the call here, and I'll explain that that's why. It's like, well, that's because, you know, if that wasn't the case, then it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel real, right? That is a neat idea, but you know, in other cases, right, sometimes, like, if a player wants to do, this is a really common request, if a player has a bow and arrow, they might want to do a called shot. Like, I want to shoot the weapon out of the hands of this enemy. And that's not technically something that exists within the rules as written, but I could be convinced to go with that. That is pretty cool. That could be very fun. I would just ask the players in that situation, hey, if we do this, are you okay if the enemies can do it too? Because if you can do it, then they can do it. And then that lets them say, actually, let's just not introduce that idea. It's not worth it, right? Because they don't want to face that going forward. I think if you approach it, though, as kind of, like I said, just trying to create a game that feels right for everybody. How do you handle character deaths? Do you warn your players before doing a very risky move? It depends. Early on, I'm going to be a lot more generous with calling stuff out, especially if somebody's a new player. There is a point in time, I never know when this is, but there's a point in time where it's like, I'm going to stop asking questions that clarifies how careful people are being with their magic use, for instance. But if you're running 5e, Sarah's right. If you're running 5e, the best thing for DMs is that it's rarely like our fault. Like, usually if a character death happens, it's because we're probably on the third or fourth poor decision that the party has made together. It's usually telegraphed. It's usually something people can sort of deconstruct, go, oh, because the reality is in 5e, it is really hard to take out a character. It's really hard to, it's even more impossible to like do a total party wipe. But yeah, if it's early on and somebody's like playing a magic user or something like that for the first time, like, I might call out to them, hey, just so you know, like, you may not realize this, but certainly your character knows that, for instance, they might need to be more careful when they're using this spell because it might have blowback on their friends or something like that. And I think that's totally, that to me, that's just being sporting, right? Jesse says, speak for myself. Like, to some extent, you can fall back on that, right? Where the reason for providing information is if you think that, well, your character certainly knows this, even if you don't realize it. Again, trying to strike that truthiness that we want everything to feel like. Well, if you're playing this magic student and you don't know this very basic thing about this cantrip that you've probably practiced for hundreds of days straight to be able to cast it, you know, here in an adventure, like, you're probably going to call that out to them, like, hey, just, you know, it doesn't quite work that way. This is how your character knows that it works, and so you know it too. That type of thing. That's usually fair. Oh, she's gonna. Ashley's now polling the community for some. Now you can Actually, now you could really be a min-maxer. Let's get everybody to weigh in on this and find the perfect choice. I just want the gallery. That's all I want to see. See, the tough part is I don't want to burn through star redraws because I haven't even seen gallery in the pool. Rumpus Room I can do, though. That'll give me I can do the king as well. No way the king has more than 100 HP, just power will kill him. What king? What do you guys think you're talking about? She does have access to that as well. It's true. Sorry, I think there was another... Would you say, Young? You used to think character deaths weren't a big deal, but you recently made a really cool character that you're very invested about, and now finally realize why people get upset when their character dies. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, it'd feel kind of weird if they didn't care at all, right? The thing about Wish is that you have to think about how many times in your life are you going to play a D&D character up to a level where you can even get Wish, and Wish is kind of like drawing from the deck of many things or killing your party with Fireball. Like, it's just something that you want to do. You have to experience this. If you're playing this game, it's just one of those things that you probably want to experience. So quick to disagree with me, just no. Nah. Okay, so if I do study... Did I hit office this time yet? I have Rumpus Room. I need to write these down. Okay, so the Nook gave me the Rook. Got plenty of knights. I have the Bishop. Study would give me the Queen. Pawns. I got pawns all over the place. I really thought I hit the office. So I'd still need the office, but I think it's worth it. I'm never going to see the gallery pop up without pulling double duty boosts on this blueprint thing. Yeah, I mean, you can use Wish for, well, anything 8th level or below, and then, you know, maybe a couple times something really unique, really powerful. Think about how this spell... TTRPG. Young, that's a good question. Can you summon a dragon with Wish? When you first got in the hobby, you wanted to get a dragon tamer class and have a pet dragon. Sad to realize it's just not a thing. I have a player in one of my games that is obsessed with dragons, and I've tried to kind of start give them hooks to things to let them threads to pull to hopefully learn about dragons, maybe learn where to find them and where to do exactly that sort of thing. Anything is technically possible with Wish. The way that Wish works is it's kind of a at least in 5e, and I actually don't even know if this is still in the 2024 rules or 2025 rules or whatever they are, but the rules that I know, and I don't think it's changed, but the rules that I know, Wish is effectively any 8th level or below spell. Like, you can use it basically as a copy of those spells. So you're just like, I'm gonna use Wish to cast this 8th level spell. So that makes it really flexible, right? As long as it's a spell that you know, right, at 8th or below, it gives you a use of that, another use of that at 9th level. What Wish can also do is a free-form wish, where you can just make a wish, and let's say that you wished dragon. It's a little bit of a wild card, like T said, because the DM, like, there's no strict rules because it's Wish, it's free form, it's whatever you say. So it's kind of going to be up to the DM. Some DMs really lean into a wish kind of like it's a monkey's paw thing, where it's like, oh, because you phrased it like this, here's what the... Generally speaking, I think you should try to honor wish. That doesn't mean there won't be any ramifications, but you generally want people to feel rewarded for saving and using a wish. So the way that it would probably work out is that you would cast it, you'd get your dragon under whatever terms make sense in the world that you're playing in, but then you're going to have your player character is basically going to be exhausted for a period of days. There's also a chance they may never be able to cast that again. Like there's a bunch of sort of mechanical weight that's put on casting Wish that way, that is kind of why people will be happy to use it kind of to copy lower spells, because that's no problem. You can do that forever. But once you actually make that wish, there's a chance that that may be it. That's right, 33% chance. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, wild card in that way, yeah. Yeah, Wish is definitely, it's on a lot of people's lists for sure. For that reason. Okay. So that gives me all of those. I'd have to check the spell description. There's a couple different ways you can do it. I'm sure it suggests a way, but yeah, I mean, D100, that would do it. Okay, so I've been told that the king ability combined with the scepter, which is still set to blue, the king's ability stacks. So if we take the king's ability, choose blue, scepter's blue, we should get that many more blueprints. Okay, so king, I think, is about there. Oh, queen right there. Bishop right there. Got knights all over the place. Nook somewhere in here. There. And I don't know, probably a pawn all over. Nope. Each day you may choose a color. Rooms of the chosen color are more likely to be drawn. Yes, I do accept it. He is pretty smart. If Crane wanted to. Fair. $246 days spent. Simon's gonna be here for a year by himself. No, he won't. It won't take that long. Yeah, I've got one sitting around, I think. It's true. It's true. Notice how ungrateful I am. Wait, when do I pick the... Oh, choose a color. Yes, please. Oh, I have to go in? I thought it was going to prompt me. I have to go in and say this one. Okay. Can't forget that. Still have the scepter. Okay. We're going to see a blue board on this one. We've got the inkwell, even though I don't really want to use it. I guess I will use it the second that I think that it's legit. If I need it. How many do we have? We have so many blue rooms. We should be able to see it though. Uh-oh. It did. No, you guys aren't frozen. Only it's the thing. It's the same thing that happened. Hold on. I'll stop that sound so you guys don't have to hear that. I love all these technical issues. They're awesome. No, the game didn't break. It's the capture card that's sending the game. The game is separate. We had a ton of failures with this capture card at one point, and then it was fine. Maybe it was the other capture card, I don't know. It's weird, they go through these bouts. Okay. Math. Okay, so half of, so we're talking about 1.5 that we're going to take up to 2 and then square to 4. Minus 5.5, so negative 1.5. And then plus 1.5, so that's 0, which is easy to round up and to square. And then plus 3.5 raised to 4 squared to 16. And then we have 8. Why is it? That's weird. Okay, so we have 8 raised to 10, reversed to 1, plus 51, or no, sorry, plus 15 is 16 reversed to 61, times 2 is 122, which goes to 120, which reverses to 21, times, wait, that can't be. Hey, Steven. Hold on, okay. Is there a ring thing that I'm missing? Okay, so that one gets reversed, so. All right, so starting with 8, that gets raised to 10. That gets squared. No, that doesn't get squared. That gets immediately turned into 1, gets reversed to 1. Okay, gotcha. And we've got plus 15, which is 16, reversed to 61. Keep track of this. And then 61 times 2 is 122, but then we're going to round that to 120 and then reverse it to 21, and then 21 times 15 this time. So 315, I think, and then first to 513, and then to 510, and then reverse to 15. Boom. Damn it. I felt good about that one. Okay, what even was this answer? 16, I think, right? 16. So is it 8 times nothing? Does it start at 0, I wonder? I wonder if it starts at 0, because we're not starting with a plus. So are we starting with nothing, like 0 times 8, which would be 0, and then plus 15 reversed to 51, and then times 2, which is 102, which becomes 100, which turns into 1. This is seeming better. And then times 15, reverse to 51, rounded to 50, reverse to 5. Hey, what's upset? A becomes 10, but it becomes 3. That's one of those like rules that feels like sort of a guess, right? Where it's like, I guess we're supposed to assume it's a 0 times, but that's, I don't think I've ever seen one of those before, so that's interesting. New wrinkle. Yeah, Set, I know what you mean. Oh yeah. Halfler, I feel like I totally missed one of your chats earlier, sorry. I just saw you posted, I think, what you said to the Discord. I'll have to catch it there. You got 5 from starting with 1? Really? I'm trying to think of which step I was screwing up. Oh well. It's in the past now. Is it even real? Alright, do the den. Pick up another gem. I like this. Everything I'm seeing is blue. I like that a lot. I might not like it here in a little bit, but I don't care as long as I can get and stash a key. The point is, it's effective. I suppose sooner or later it's going to have to show me other things, but cool. Oh, that was the question about community game times. Yeah, I'm not opposed to that. The statement on the white box is true. A box with a false statement contains the gems. The gems are in the white box. Statement on the white box is true. A box with a false statement contains the gems. The gems are in the white box. Okay, so we need false. So the statement on the white box is true. Let's say that's false. A box with a false statement contains gems, so that's false. And then true, the gems are in the white box. Well, hey, that could be true. Well, but the false statement contains the gems. If that's false, then it's a true statement. But then this would be false, so then everything's false, so it can't be that. So the gems are in the white box. If that's true, a box with a false statement contains the gems. So this would then need to be false. The statement on the white box is true would also be false. So box with a false statement contains it, but that would make it true. Okay. The gems are in the white box. False. A box with a false statement contains the gems. True. Statement on the white box is true. True. False. That means that they are in here. I think I figured it out. Took me 4 tries, but I found it. Oh, let's see here. We'll just wind back and forth. All right, now we just need to code check it. Or draw the vault. You're right. I can afford it. Can find out real quick. Yeah, it's a little bit. It takes a little bit of effort. Dang. Okay, I'll do one. So coat check is just to be safe, I guess. I'll drop coat check just in case. Yes, Dreamweavers, exactly. we keep it alive. Huh. Dig, I can't dig. Okay. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I'd like to manage it slightly. Just because it can be such a pain to drive them back up when we need them for another thing. But, like, it should probably pop up here. Like, I would expect it to. Without spending too many stars. It's just a lot easier if it pops up. Okay, but now I'm seeing non-blue stuff, so the game is punishing me. Some days it's not in the pool. That seems to just be the case. So definitely think I've burned more stars than necessary in the past just being stubborn about it. So at some point it's like, just need to tuck it away and try again. We'll just take a jog. We have a few keys. Shouldn't be the biggest waste of time. What's up, Crane? It's a good question, Seth. I think in this game, and in games like it, it's probably subtly pretty complex because there are so many things that weigh on it at any given time. And if you're not careful with how you construct whatever your random roll is, with as many factors playing into it, it can become overly weighted. Because you still want there to always be a chance. You don't want it to be, like, guaranteed. So I bet there's actually quite a bit of thought that goes into making something like this thorough enough to work this way. Do I have a... No, I don't. Okay. not gonna say no. Okay. Because that'll always come back to us. Sure. Gems. Study also wouldn't be so bad. Okay. Man, it's gotta pop up in all of this mess. Just has to. Yes. Get removed if they don't fit the location. You know, it's hard to say because there are so many, right? There's 46 blue rooms. Well, there's what? Well, we know the number. 46. This is 54, 62, 70, 78, 86, 94, 102. I think it's 110. So yeah, maybe they do all, like they are all in the pool. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I don't understand it. Is that true? I didn't know that. I do. It must be not long enough then, because every I was kind of disappointed that every sheet isn't different. It doesn't seem to matter what music is on the page. It's all the same music. I'm sure the game developers got that criticism, which isn't fair. It's totally fine. It's not part of the puzzle. That's actually a really interesting thing. Actually, this is worth talking about. The music sheets in this game, as somebody who's made puzzle music sheets before, but also just like puzzle design in general, I wonder if the reason that all 8 music sheets have the same music notation on it is to dissuade people from looking into that as a puzzle factor. Because the fact that it's a repeated texture, that it's the same for all 8 pages, means that you're not going to dive into like, what could the notes mean? And what is the pattern here? And does it accidentally look like something? And it's really important. I mean, maybe that was a thought, maybe that wasn't a thought in the creation of this, but I know that when you're creating puzzles, you have to be really careful when giving clues that you don't accidentally send people in the wrong direction because something seems like it's a clue when it's really not. You'd be surprised how often accidental like clues will happen unless you're diligent about it. Red herrings, that's a good, yeah. Oh, a bunch of gold I don't need. That's not true. Maybe I need it. Hard to know. Oh, yeah, that may be. I didn't watch. I haven't watched that, so I wouldn't be able to guess. It's a pink trunk. With a moon. And I should say, if I ever end up in a situation where I've accidentally given a clue that misleads the party, I'm doing like some live. I'm weighing my options, because at some point, pretty quickly, I want to either myself commit to like, this is now a real part of the world. This clue that I accidentally put there, I'm gonna justify it and it's gonna count, or I'm gonna step in and tell the party like, I screwed up. Ignore that. That shouldn't be there, right? We have to be willing to do that kind of stuff. We're not perfect. We're just game designers. There is an antechamber lever hidden in the drawing room. So this is a green memo. But we know that the moon stuff is nonsense. I'm still gonna write it down though. There is an antechamber lever hidden in the drawing room. Man, is there a room that we spent more time analyzing? Ugh. DM mentions a chair. Oh, yeah, the chair thing. Gotcha. I understand. Definitely had conversations about that hypothetical before, too. What you got, Mechanarium? Ooh. I rarely see these at nearly eye level. It's a little weird. Hello, crane. I don't care about that handle. I'll always take a key. Hey, buddy. That's a good point. The tricky thing is actually have to actually spend them all. Well, you'd have to get what you're looking for and then have another situation to spend again. Oh, I'm so good at this. Yes, the inkwell, bustillation. These words are interchangeable. Pretty sure that's what the game makers intended as well. Yeah, I mean, this decision should work out way more often than it doesn't work out. I don't know why it's been duplicating those. I don't know, maybe it's a terrible plan. I mean, for an inkwell icon design, they made it a little bit look like a butt. I'm just saying. A little bit more than necessary, it does look like a butt. All right, so we are hoping for a vault. I'm just reminding myself here. 10 dice, let's go. Tunda, boiler room. Yeah, I could do the boiler room. Gift shop. Yep, it's worth it. Give me 2 poles instead of 1. Ballroom, planetarium. Rotunda, wine cellar. Vault. Okay, let's all prepare to be disappointed. Everybody ready? Everybody ready for the... Let's queue up our next good idea. Not prepared. It's gonna be a hard failure. No way. Deposit box 53 is locked. Use that key. I didn't believe it. Wow. Got an allowance token. That's pretty cool. All right. Well, let's see then. Got some more. Probably some more draws we should do then over here. I think. Let's get the next room up. Just go. I know, Seth. I'm trolling. I'll go back and actually read the thing. The idea of spending like 8 hours trying to get that key and being like, sweet, allowance token, awesome. That's what I was. Yep, all good now. And then off we go. Yeah, I'm just mildly amazed that worked. That was a clue in the game, and that is a legit thing. My obsession with ciphers was renewed after my brother died, for among his journals I found a curious square, a grid of words written in a hand I immediately recognized, my mother's. Accompanying this discovery were numerous pages containing traces of my brother's fruitless attempts over the years to decipher this grid. It was a bittersweet find. The excitement I felt was tempered by memories of the unique bond my mother and brother had always shared. I was the child with an interest in puzzles and wordplay, yet it was Simon to whom she bequeathed this cryptic gift. With all respect to my late brother, it became clear after spending time poring over his notes that he was not very suited to this challenge. Occasionally, he stumbled upon some promising ideas, but none of them were thoroughly pursued. Where I will give him credit, however, is in the extensive research he conducted, combing through a career's worth of our mother's notes and correspondence. This search culminated in the discovery of a letter my mother had written a local professor requesting, quote, additional material for use in the creation of a cryptograph. This meager clue was, according to his survey, the only shred of evidence in her belongings that mentioned this project. As for me, I am ashamed to admit that despite all my boasting, I have nothing to show for nearly 3 decades of effort. I am no closer to solving this than I was in those early months of daily obsession, and with each passing year, I fear my chances of reaching a satisfying conclusion to this adventure grow even slimmer. Some might say this outcome is quite fitting, poetic justice for tormenting my readers for so many years with seemingly impossible bafflers. While I can certainly relate to their frustrations, I wonder if we really need to obtain answers to all of life's questions. Must we always quench our thirst for knowledge? At my age, I often find myself looking back at this long path behind me, and I think I am content to leave a few stones unturned. A life without some mystery is a life without imagination, so I will lay down this burden and leave this stone, and the winding path of intrigue it precedes, for future generations to explore. All right. Deadly is the stone. Look at that. What could it mean? I'm just going to copy that down over here. Pigs. Clam. Let me see. How much space should I provide? Clam. Toad. Tree. Hand. Sand peak. Card road. Base mail. heat will made safe. Date. Joya. Oh. Tape slab clay. Head. Well. Legs. Rock. Toes. Yeah, definitely some Seder Square vibes. Wonder if this is a Vignere cipher, but I feel like there's too much information. Doesn't feel Vignere to me. Vignere doesn't feel like a Vignere to me. Could be though. What's the password and what's the message? Run over it quick. You think it's a... Maybe he just never used a magnifying glass on it in 3 decades. Probably not a very good chance of that. Pigs. Clam. Toad. Tree hand. Okay, so they're all 4 letters, right? They're all 4-letter words. Are any of them anagrams? What if all of them are anagrams? It's 5 by 5. Obsession with ciphers. My obsession with ciphers was renewed after my brother died, for among his journals I found a curious square, a grid of words written in a hand I immediately recognized, my mother's. Accompanying this discovery were numerous pages containing traces of my brother's fruitless attempts over the years to decipher this grid. And I threw those away. It was a bittersweet find. The excitement I felt was tempered by memories of the unique bond my mother and brother had always shared. I was the child with an interest in puzzles and wordplay. It was Simon to whom she bequeathed this cryptic gift. With all respect to my late brother, it became clear after spending time poring over his notes that he was not very suited. Occasionally, he stumbled upon promising ideas. This search culminated in the discovery of a letter my mother had written a local professor requesting, quote, additional material for use in the creation of a cryptograph. Like, is there actually a device? There was a pig in the chapel. You think Simon P. should start fresh previously, so him not leaving any notes is in character? Yeah, that's fair. Well, this doesn't even feel like it was necessarily left for Simon. This is just like anybody who finds it, I guess. This meager clue was, according to his survey, the only shred of evidence in her belongings that mentioned the project. As for me, I'm ashamed to admit that despite all my boasting, I have nothing to show for nearly 3 decades. I'm no closer to solving this with each passing year for my chance. This outcome is quite fitting. Poetic justice must we always question or thirst. At my age, I found myself looking back at the long path behind me, and I think I am content to leave a few stones unturned. A life without some mystery is a life without imagination. So I will lay down this burden and leave this stone, and the winding path of intrigue it proceeds for future generations to explore. Okay. Rock hand base, safe clay toes. Slab. Dang. Well, good one, T. That I'm not sure I would have. Where's key 8 again? This is where the number of times. No, I know, but I'm saying I'm looking at the number of times I've wanted a key to fit in a place, and it's like, well, the problem is the key's gotta, the safe deposit box keys. Obviously, they probably looked like that. Never compared them. What room the memo was in? That's an excellent point that I forget that I made, but okay. But I bet if we paid attention to the ends of the keys on a safe deposit box key, I bet they look like that. And just imagine walking around and trying to find where it fit and actually finding it. That would have been nutty. Wonder if it opens any other ones. I don't think I'm that desperate, but okay. Dreamweavers indeed. Well, damn. Okay. So if we think about recent clues, or think about the remaining clues that we have, let me flip back over. Got the mice will play, which probably is not anything. Small gates. Where's my swan song? Stands for something. We seek what's in the shade of truth. Seek what's in the shade of truth. So the family core is unlocked by the sum of its digits. So now we have this square. Yeah. All of these could be potential cores. Are you saying that if we turn the letters into numbers and each one of them's a core, we end up with a grid of numbers? Is that what you're telling me right now? Is that just because you want to play with more cores? Find funky keys. See, the problem with the numerical core stuff, well, they would all be, yeah. Damn. Okay, hold on. Hold on a second. Okay, so pigs. Oh gosh. I'll have to write this out. So I is 8. G is, wait, is G 6? Oh, H-I. I is 9. G is 7. Well, what are you suggesting? Thanks, Stevan. 16, 9, 7, 19. Thank you. If we did this and found a core, I'm just thinking about, like, Mary was looking into this, I think, right? Or maybe it was the Baroness. So maybe it was part of the Baroness would have been his mother, right? So if she was requesting and looking into the numerical cores as well as making a cryptid, like, I guess the question in my mind is, what if we did this for at least a few of them? What if it ended up it's like 1 0 0 1 0 0? You know what I mean? Like, what if it wouldn't be 0, I guess, but like, what if it could be interesting? So if it was like 16 or times or divided by, so if we did -9, that would be 7 divided by 7 equals 1 times 19. The first one, 19. So pigs equals 19. For her own hand is for her eyes only. Could be. Ooh, ooh, ooh. What if it becomes see, this the numerological core thing is interesting, but it also, like, sand is 1. Okay, you're faster at this than me. Sand, which is fine. I take no joy in playing the numbers game. But once we have them, what if they themselves then go into another one, right? To be fair, the core is the only thing we have associated with Oravi. Besides that deed. Male. 14, 1, 9, 13. So, dude, and you know that this is because, who was it saying? Was it Hafler or somebody else? Nobody would have made a Python algorithm for only one of these. This is why. You do that when you have a whole batch of them and you don't want to... I bet that's why. I bet that's why somebody would make one. He said there were a lot. You're saying male is 9? So that's 1919 so far. Date is 4/1/25. Well, I'm gonna keep toying with it as well. It's date 55. M is 13, not 14. Oh, okay. For me, it's like, okay, so +4. So I did -1 times 20. Oh, then it would be divided by 5. 3, so 60 divided by 5, so that becomes 11. Or 12, so that becomes 12. $13, $1, $9, $12. Exactly set, right? So for male, you still have 9. Gotcha. Okay. Head is 8, 5, 1, 4. Minus, divided by, got times. Okay, so minus 5 equals 3, which would be divided by 1 equals 3 times 5 equals 15, or so we can't divide 3 by 4, 8 divided by 40. No, we can do, well, we can't do, yeah, I think head is 15. So 19, 1, 9, 12, 15. This, playing with numbers like this feels like such a, like, talk about, like, stepping out, like, minus 19 times 19 divided by 19 equals 1. No, can't do that. Equals 0. Oh, jeez. 19, 1. Oh. Well, what if, yeah, it's exclusive, right? What if it's just as simple as then translating these into letters, translating them back? 19, 1, 9, 12, 5. Say hello? You think? Interesting. Interesting idea. He spent 3 decades, guys. I think we're on 13 minutes. Minus 12 times 12 divided by 12, so to be 36. 13. Guess we have to be divided by 1 equals 36, and then minus 13. That still works because that's 23 for clam. There's also the letter we didn't get to see to a university professor. Going to be questioning as I go. Hold on a second. My brain only works in like 2 dimensions. I've got to give myself a help. Minus 15 equals 5. Yeah, do whatever. I mean, honestly, I'm sure it's a thrilling stream at this point, but yeah, I think doing them separately and then checking our notes might be the actually most efficient way. Because I'm sure that I'm going to do some of this wrong. Well, thank you, Seth. I appreciate that. It's fun to have something productive to do. I cannot believe that 53 unlocked by 8 leading to that key in that vault was the thing. Crazy. No. 8 times 1 equals 8. 7 times 14. No. I'm not sure. So, hand 8 1 14 4. How would the numerical core work for that? Because it feels like no matter which way I do it, it doesn't work. What do you get? 15? I said 14. I have for head. No, I'm not on head. I'm on hand. I have 8 1 14 4. Oh, 7 divided. I see. I didn't try that one. 7 divided by 14 to get a half. Times 4 to get 2. That makes sense. Okay. Line 2, you get water. Tells me that we are on the right track. Yep. No, that's all good. Good to be going different directions. Okay. Okay. You're also getting, but on head I got, on head you got 12. I didn't, wait, where did I do head? Oh, very possibly you're right and I'm wrong. Thankfully, I wasn't originally how did you get 15? I got 12. I'm sure that I did it wrong, guys. Where's my math? Head 8, 5, 1, 4. I did 8 minus 5 equals 3 divided by 1 equals 3 times 5 equals 15. So clearly that's not the most efficient way to get the smallest number. If you can get it to 12. I'm not sure it makes more sense, but okay, where was it? Come back, Jesse. Yep. Toes gives 19. Okay, the last line is books. Double check my road. Is road 4? 18 minus 15 equals 3. Divided by 1. Oh, no, it's 12. Is L. Okay. It can't be. Row 4, you get blank. Blank books. What's up, Lex? Okay. So I'm bad at numerical cores. So row 4, you get blank. What was your row 3? Or are you still doing row 3? I think legs is S. Still getting sail, water, something. I wouldn't say that set. Something blank books. Well, Joya isn't Joya. Right? No, not Joya. Tape. I was looking at the other one. Joya has to be Joya. It's tape. 21. P16. see. Substitute Joya with food. No, well, that one doesn't seem wrong, right? You guys, so sail with an extra L. Water, sail L water. That's the sail L water. 2016 is 540. Can't get a whole number with 25. And then something blank books. Let me check. Well, I've just been working backwards on that third line so far. Tape and legs both make sense, but yeah, I'll do will. Has to be 14, right? NTS, is that what you had? Because it's 23 minus 9, and then the times 12 divided by 12 are going to cancel themselves out, right? So it's just the 14. That's why. So really it's tints. I want to see the moment of getting the key involved, so which was funny. I was not anticipating success. So sail L water tints blank books. Tints blank books. Blank books. Do we know of any blank books? And water and sail. Blank books. Sail L water. L. E-L. Sail isn't right? Damn it. Well, good. Good. I wanted to redo it. Why am I going through old Post-its? Just do it fresh. Post-its are not an effective way to do this math. Pigs. 16. I. Is 9. G is 7. S is 19. Into boats and sails. Minus 9 times 9 equals 7 divided by 7. So definitely seems like it's S. It's the A is off. Oh. Whoopsie daisy. Still water. Tints. Blank. Books. Still water. All right, well, only one thing to do now. Back to the pump room. Yeah, let's just start going through it. Foundation entrance hall, rotunda, room 8, gallery, the break room, the parlor, closets, the attic, the storeroom, the nook, the garage. It has to. Well, I mean, we. Okay, I'm gonna keep going, but I think we probably need to start with the water. Locker room, ballroom, trophy room, den, pantry. Blank books in the in theory, or can we take water to a book via a watering can? Here, let's just, I have 39 steps, I can go up. Blank books. Blank books. Turn off the circulation pump. I am thinking more of I want to see the pump room again. Everybody's favorite. Where do the fish go? Where does anything go? Just a whole poor Anne. She can take it though. That's what I want. The fountain, the reservoir, the aquarium, what the hell is the water doing in the greenhouse? Is that the water that comes down? Is that the dripping water? It's the hydration stuff. It is. So that's not still water though. Got the reservoir. Blank books. Fountain, reservoir, aquarium, kitchen, greenhouse, and pool. The pool's nothing. The greenhouse doesn't seem to be still. The water in the kitchen is presumably just like water. We've never seen it, but presumably there's water, so maybe there's something in the kitchen? Right, we've never done anything in there. I don't even know if I created a kitchen this time. Don't think so. Kitchen's yellow. Thank you. So of course we haven't. It's not really in the cards. I have stars, but I'm not going to blow them that way. I mean, we've got the information. I'll just try again. It's a lot easier that way. Well, the water... So most of those water locations, it does sit. It is still. Oh, technically it's still in here, too. It sits in the pool. It doesn't sit still in the greenhouse or the aquarium. I wouldn't argue that that's still water. That's moving. So only the kitchen, the reservoir, and the fountain, in theory. The water is so you can refill it, the watering can. Gotcha, that makes sense. Hey, Luke. We uncovered some more nonsense. I say that in a good way. Good nonsense. Still water tints blank books. So we are now considering water and book locations. Starting with water locations. Let's see, how do I get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 12, 13. Okay, that's a dead end. I have to go backwards. 1, 2. Wait, how the hell do I do this? No. I came through the foundation. I have to go back through the foundation. No code at all. Maybe it is the watering can? How many of the classrooms have open blank books on the desks? What if we went in there with a watering can? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to picture the classroom. I maybe even had one here. None of them have books. Still water tints, like even now, still water tints them. Just worksheets. Okay, forget that idea then. Maybe even in like the... Even in like the schoolhouse. Blank books. You're right. Yeah, it's all worksheets on desks, not chapel. Archives. I don't think there's stuff just laying out in the dark room. I mean, technically it was Micron, and what kind of pen is this? Just like a basic Frixion clicker pen, but yeah, basically. I mean, they would have to be... Oh, that's why they keep erasing on me. I didn't even know that about those pens. That makes sense. They have to be like, there's no, like, there are books that we interact with, right? There are books that we open, but we can't do anything with them to like make blank pages. Like, I'm trying to think, like, there might be some incomplete or some blank pages in some of the books. Secret card inclusion. Maybe, are there open books in the secret passage? Corridor. I mean, we could always check the library. Basically, there's a bunch of places that we can look. But they have to be... Conference room, I don't think so. Aquarium. The lab. I don't think anything's laying open in the library, though. Study. Where do I need to go? All right, let me just make sure I carry this stuff forward, then we can start exploring. These aren't books. These are file folders. Legal pads. Yep. Yep. All right, we'll find and we'll tint some books. We'll find and we'll tint some books in a couple of hours. When I come back to play again, we will methodically and carefully, without any clues, move through this place and find those damn open blank books. I have no doubt. Awesome. What is it about daytime? What is it about not being sleepy that makes it easier to solve these puzzles? Actually, we would have gotten here last night if it would just had some better RNG, or if I just moved more quickly or figured out, like, we burned so much of it getting the black rooms, I think. Hey, game, what's going on? What you doing, game? I don't know. I'll figure out the game. I'll figure out what's going on with it. Maybe it will be angry with us. It's not done. No. It's just a black screen, but I'm stopping. I'll figure out what's wrong with it. I don't know why. The game can only handle so many days. It's like, look, listen. You're done. You're done. But either way, we'll pick it up later. At the very worst case, like, we've got the information we need. Like, if it it might do a thing where it's like it's done this before, where it doesn't save the previous day. We know what we have. We have it going forward. It'll be annoying that I have to redo that at some point for a clue, but see you guys in a couple hours. Thanks for the help. You guys are awesome. See you, Sarah T. Set. Any other lurkers? Beyond probably around 9, and until who knows when. Yep, it's knowledge gated. Can't lose it. I'll increment the... I think I already incremented the day. Anyway, all right. See you guys in a bit. Awesome.